true. Like, I'm abusive, so I'm obviously not going to release evidence of myself being abusive. But turns out I'm not. She's the abusive one. So I'm trying to give as much context as possible for this video. Because I want people to know that, well, one, I'm not the bad guy here. And I hope that other people can learn that big, strong men like me, I'm a Marine Corps veteran, here I am being abused. Like, you think of it as men abusing women, but it happens the other way around too. And so it's just embarrassing to admit, but I have to admit. So another couple of things I want to clarify. So I'm a disabled United States Marine Corps veteran. And I have a full pension. So all of this stuff that she's complaining about, the house and the foreclosure, that was actually all her fault. Because I had more than enough money to pay for everything. She abused me to the point where I left because I didn't want to be abused anymore. I didn't want the children to be abused in front of me. She wouldn't stop abusing. She wouldn't stop screaming at me that I had to give up my house and leave everything behind. And that's why we lost the house, because I moved out and had to pay my bills elsewhere. But that's what happens when you separate. That's part of the consequence of divorce, is people lose stuff. But another thing I want to make super clear is that I have absolutely never hurt those children. Those are my children. I love them with all my heart. And I'm an empath, so I wouldn't hurt anybody in the first place. But also, I'm way too terrified of her. Like, if you see how she reacted to me tapping Amelia on the shoulder, imagine if I molested them or sexually assaulted them. Obviously, I would be in jail for the rest of my life. Like, you know, so I walked on eggshells the entire 8 years of my marriage, and I'm kind of pissed off about that. But it's extremely clear that she is the abusive one. And, you know, sadly, there really is no cure for this kind of personality disorder. Cluster B personality disorders typically have extremely low success rates at treatment, and it's because the individuals don't think they have anything wrong with them. And about the film itself, I'm really proud of it, actually, and I was ashamed and embarrassed for so long that it was only by making this film that I found the courage to, and I'm not trying to expose her because I love her, but this is a powerful lesson for other people to realize. Men can be abused too. Women can be the abuser. Narcissistic personality disorder, as far as I know, I think it's male and female about the same. Maybe males have it slightly more. But females can have it, and she has it. And in this video, she exceeds all of the criteria. The grandiose, superiority, the not willing to accept other people's feelings. Even though in the video she's demanding that I accept Amelia's feelings, but and of course I would accept my children's feelings, but I'm also the dad, so I get to decide things. Like, and I'm not deciding what the definition of words are. The dictionary does that. I just teach whatever the dictionary says. And so that's what that whole big fight was about. And we'll get back to that more later. But my hope is that this film can be an educational tool for others so they can identify narcissistic personality disorder and narcissistic abuse in their own lives. And it's my hope that somebody might see this video and be horrified that they're in the exact same situation. Like, and they're complying. That's what happens with the victims, is they just comply. Like, and what good husband doesn't want to comply with their wife? Like, I'm willing to comply with her. It's just, I think it would be fair if she complied with me also, maybe half the time, maybe 10% of the time, but no, it's 100% of the time I surrender and comply with her, and that's unfair. It's unfair. I tried to parent the children in my own way, and I was not allowed to do that. And you know, it wasn't until I actually watched the footage. Okay, I filmed it Christmas morning. I watched it Christmas afternoon. And it wasn't until I watched the footage that I realized, like, holy shit, this woman clearly doesn't love me. And this shit is dangerous. That shit was absolutely inappropriate in a million ways. And so I gotta leave. Fuck, I just invested everything into it. But I gotta leave. So, but it wasn't until I watched the footage, because while it was happening, I was bewildered. I couldn't even understand what was happening until I watched it a couple of times, and I was horrified. Like, she really went there? She really, you know, to escalate the argument to the point of comparing children being raped to what I'm doing. It's just, that's her escalating the argument to a point where I can't defend it. I can't, she tops the argument in any way possible, whatever it takes. So it wasn't until I made this film that I realized what was really happening, and that's remarkable. So maybe I encourage other victims to start recording. I got lucky because she was so arrogant that she was like, record me. Most narcissists will probably not willingly let you record them. But she was so confident that she had me under control and completely subordinate because I just gave up everything. She didn't think I could really leave. So she thought she could do whatever she wanted. Or she's seeing somebody else, which at the end of the film, it shows she confesses that she wants somebody else. She wants to meet new men. She made that super clear. And so maybe that's really the reason for all of this. So I still can't believe how long I put up with abuse. Like, how did I not see it earlier? You know, like, I'm a psychologist. How did I not recognize that I was in an abusive relationship? Well, the truth is I did realize it a long time ago, but it scared me so much that maybe I denied it, or I put it away, or tried to figure out other explanations, or try to have ultimate compassion and grace, or try to be loyal to my marriage, or loyal to my marriage vows, which actually that's something I still try to hold up to, which is why I did everything I did, because, well, I mean, maybe it's part of my own ego, but I want to be seen as a good guy. But no matter what I do, I'm never going to be seen as a good guy for her. So, you know, I used to try to fight with her. I used to try to win arguments. I used to try to reason with her. I used to try to compromise. And absolutely nothing I could ever do would be good enough. You know, Christmas morning started off kind of unwell. But I thought she was going to at least keep me for a couple months so I could start working and make an abundance of money that then she could then have access to, because I would have, as a married couple, if it was hers, she could have all of my money. And so I'm surprised she wasn't a little more strategic and nice on Christmas, and then a total dick and asshole like she normally is, like in February or March. But nope, she couldn't control herself. And so this video represents the end of a marriage. That's how powerful and important this one day of footage and all of the accompanying text messages happened later that day. So this is just one little slice. But for some reason she acted so outrageous and so absurd on camera. I'm still dumbfounded. She's like, record this. For the record, I'm not at a pump and dump station. In front of my fucking kids on Christmas. Good God.